going to do is go ahead with the council meeting, and when we get down to the certification, we'll let Ms. Nelson tell you about what the problem is, if there is a problem, and hope we got something by then. So, this meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order, and the chair calls on City Clerk Ivan Nelson for the roll call.
Councilman Harris.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Avery.
Here.
Eccles.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present, and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Councilman Harris to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Dear Father, we come to you again today, asking you to be in our midst, asking you to lead us, guide us, and direct us in the manner in which everything that we do will be pleasing to you. We thank you for your goodness and your mercy. We thank you for the leaders of this city. We thank you for the leaders of this state, this country, and we ask that you continue to abide in them so that they will always be in your favor. And as we go through this process today, we ask that you will continue to be with us, lead us, guide us, and direct us, and we will continue to give you all the praise and all the glory. These blessings we ask in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the work session and the city council meeting held on August the 27th.
So moved.
Second. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of the accounts for the week of August the 22nd through the 28th.
So moved.
Second. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
We don't have a mayor or an assistant mayor, either one, so I don't guess we got any.
They were.
Chad, you want?
No proclamations today.
They were busy talking in the hallway. I don't know if somebody still got them tied up or not.
Okay. Unfinished business and nuisances on property located at 1031 4th Avenue and 321 Wilson Street have been abated, therefore no action by the council is needed. Number 9, this is a time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or in favor of an ordinance rezoning property located at 2900 Million Boulevard. RGC Ventures, LLC, has requested the property be rezoned from I-1 Light Industry to B2 General Business to be consistent with the shopping plaza. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended the rezoning. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of it? This ordinance was presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Our next public hearing is an ordinance rezoning property located on Morning View Drive in Hutchins Avenue. Philip Davis requested the property be rezoned from R1 one family resident to B1 neighborhood business for the purpose of marketing as commercial. There was opposition from surrounding property owners, and the Planning Commission voted 6-1 with one abstention to recommend the council approve the rezoning. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Would you mind coming to the microphone, please?
over
over
there.
here.
Sure,
Yeah. Is it
Okay, my
online?
name is Jane Frederick. My address is 419.
Is it online?
Gadsden
Sounds
Drive.
like speaking to the mic.
And I have a petition here.
Please state your name, color of it.
Jane, Jane, Frederick, Frederick. My address is
Okay.
419 Gadsden Drive.
Thank you.
And I have a petition here that outlines our objections to the zoning change. If you'd like to look at these, I would appreciate it.
Thank you, and I will keep this into the record and can provide copies to the council members. I'll pass it down now for you to look.
Okay.
Okay, when the Planning Commission sent out a letter that told us about the change in the resolution, they just sent the letter to like about 8 households. But anything that happens on Morning View Drive concerns everybody in Oakley Estates. We have a drainage problem, which I've outlined in the petition, and anything that's built on that property would add to a runoff that would cause more drainage problems than we have already. Also, we object to the fact that we have no control over what kind of business is put there. We're being asked to approve of something that's like a pig and a poke. We don't know what we're getting, and we don't want the wrong kind of business in our neighborhood. But the main thing that concerns me is the traffic problem. If you look at the map, you see where there's no access to parcel 2 except Morning View Drive. And that particular section of Morning View Drive is just barely passable with 2 cars. So if they have an outlet to get onto that property, it's going to cause a real traffic problem. We have children in our neighborhood, and us older people that like to get out and walk, and we think it would be a traffic hazard more than it is already. But those of us that own property there, we moved there because we wanted to live there. And Mr. Davis bought property because he wanted to make a profit on it. And I don't have anything against people making a profit, but not at our expense. And we have a lot of younger families that have rental units up there.
They have young children, and they moved there because that's where they wanted to live, so their kids can have a yard to play in and have a dog or a cat, live like normal children. And we don't want to see the traffic problem worsen anymore. And that's about it. But I hope you will look at that, and we'd like for you to reconsider. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them.
Thank you, ma'am.
We wanted to, we were not able to get in touch with our councilman, but we wanted to have a public meeting so that everybody in Oakley Estates could have been informed about this. And we weren't able to do it. So at least we'd like to have more time so that maybe we could be better at expressing our concerns.
She's through. Okay. I think she's through.
You've done an excellent job expressing your concerns. We hear you.
Thank
It's
you.
something I feel very deeply about. I've lived in the same house since 1973, and I've owned it outright for 15 years. I don't want to go anywhere. These are our homes. This is our community. We love one another. We get along. And I'd like for it to stay that way.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll look into it. Is there anybody else who would like to speak in opposition? Does anybody wish to speak in favor?
I think there's one opposition.
Another opposition.
There's another opposition.
Please state your name and address for the city clerk.
Sandra Thomas, 405 Morning View Drive. And I'll probably speak for the rest of us, but we are concerned about whatever, is going up there. I've been up there over 27 years. And like I said, I'm right at the corner. I have a sister that lives on Roslyn and a brother. So all told, we have 3 houses right there. Miss Frederick was up there when we moved up there. And we do have a lot of traffic at the end of Morning View. Just a couple of months ago, we had a little boy to get hit up there. And around by the nursing home and everything, it's busy. They have trees grown up. You can't see. Cars are constantly running the stop signs up there. And our big concern is the children. And whatever they decide to build, if they sell commercial, we know they can put practically anything. I'm not against anybody building a business, but we need something that's going to help the community up there, not, against, that's going to harm us in any kind of way. And that's the biggest concern. Whatever you all decide to do or whatever, we need something up there that's going to help our kids up that way. And we could use a little grocery store up that way, to be honest, because we have to go so far out. But I know whatever the decision is, I hope it be something to benefit Oakley Estate. And that's all. And Councilman Williams, I do, appreciate what you do, but we do need to be more involved, ask you to be more involved with the community up there so we'll know, and you also know what's going on up there, because some are lost, some didn't receive, letters, some don't know what's going on no more than what we are going back telling them. So whatever the decision is, I hope it's something that we would benefit from. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in opposition to it? Anyone wish to speak in favor of it? Please state your name and address for the
Yes, sir.
city clerk.
My name is George Day. I'm an attorney here in Gadsden, and I'm here on behalf of Phil Davis, and I'm here to ask the council to approve the application for rezoning of this property. The property in question adjoins the north side facility, the assisted living facility there in North Gadsden. there is already commercial use of property that adjoins Phil Davis property. So we're not coming into an area that is purely residential that does not already have a commercial use, because that's already been there and has been there for many years. Also, as the council is probably aware, this is an area that is going to adjoin Highway 411 when it comes through this part of the city. So there's going to be development at some point or another, because you're going to have Highway 411 coming through. It's property that directly adjoins the North Side Assisted Living Facility. And Mr. Davis appreciates the concerns of the community and the neighbors that are there, and we know that this, the community in which they live is one that's been in Gadsden for a long time. But for example, the lady that was just up spoke about a grocery store. Well, that's one of the uses that can be made of a neighborhood business district, and that's exactly what we're seeking, is rezoning of this property from R1 to the neighborhood business district. And I think there are a number of protections that are built into the zoning ordinance, because I think the type of businesses that could be placed in this property, if this application is approved, are types of businesses that the neighbors would not oppose. Drugstores can go in neighborhood business district, grocery stores. In fact, the zoning ordinance, the way it reads is that neighborhood business district, it talks about uses furnishing retail goods to satisfy the daily household needs of the surrounding residential neighborhoods. So the very definitions in the city ordinance, the zoning ordinance, contemplates that it's the type of businesses that would be expected to meet the needs of adjoining residential areas. It says the district regulations are designed to permit the development of the districts for their purposes and to protect the abutting and surrounding residential areas. So I think the zoning ordinance that the city has in place is well crafted and includes safeguards against development of these areas for the type businesses that should not be there. In fact, if you look at the allowed uses, there are some uses that can't be made without prior planning approval. So I think there are safeguards built in. This is an area that I think ultimately will be developed. Our hope is that we can develop this property with businesses that will meet needs of these folks that live in this area, hopefully create jobs and perhaps tax revenues, and yet at the same time, working within the confines of the existing zoning ordinance, protect the residential properties from the type uses that should not be situated here. So for all those reasons, I would ask the City Council to approve the application for rezoning. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of it? This ordinance was presented today for the first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Our next public hearing is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance to add mobile food vehicles. The next two are concerning mobile food vehicles. This establishes regulations and operating parameters for mobile food vehicles. Planning Commission unanimously recommended council amend the zoning ordinance. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution, this ordinance? Does anyone wish to speak in favor?
Mr. President, I think now's the time I probably need to amend this ordinance. I'd like to make a motion to amend the ordinance dealing with the time of operations. I think we publicized in the newspaper from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. At this time, I would like to amend that to say 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Are we amending the ordinance and also voting on it?
I'm just,
Or just amending it for
voting
next
to
week?
amendment, right, to amend it, yeah.
Okay,
Then we'll maybe vote on it later, I don't know, we'll see what the public hearing says.
okay.
Okay.
Those in favor to amend the time of operation to change from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries for the amendment.
Okay, so now we can continue the public hearing. Does anybody want to speak?
He's already given an opportunity to speak.
The planning committee unanimously recommended the council amend the zoning ordinance. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this ordinance? Does anyone wish to speak in favor of it? This ordinance was presented today for the first reading. The council will vote on it next week.
Now, Mr. President, if there's no objection, I'd like to make a motion, we suspend the rules and vote on this today.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today at its first reading, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we have unanimous consent for immediate consideration.
Now I'll make a motion, we pass.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I think this is, I see several vendors out there, and I know they're probably sitting on edge wanting to make sure they can be in accordance with the law, so I think we just need to go and get that out the way now.
Anyone else? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance as amended, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
The final public hearing is an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance to add mobile food vehicles.
That's the one we just did.
And there's two of them.
I said, yeah, but we just did that one. That was the one I amended, and we did that one.
There's an ad,
Huh?
One of them we hadn't done.
We ain't done the permit.
We didn't do it, we didn't deal with the first one.
I wondered why I read that, we jumped.
Okay, well,
It
we
was
need to
just-
vote.
it
There
was
are
added.
there are
One
actually
vehicle and
two
one-
ordinances that deal with the food vendors.
Right.
The first one established the regulations.
Right.
The second one simply amends the zoning ordinance to indicate what zoning designations that they
Okay,
can
well,
operate in.
we need to vote on the
in
first
seconds.
one.
Okay.
It was just adding mobile vendors to our ordinance.
Right.
Right.
Does
Well-
anyone that wish to speak in opposition
Yeah,
to
we'll go ahead
that?
on with that.
Squeak. Does anyone wish to speak in favor of it?
Mr. President, to be consistent, I'll just make a motion that we suspend the rules and vote on this one.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today at its first reading, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we have a unanimous vote for immediate consideration.
Make a motion, we approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion on this? Anybody in favor?
Is everybody
Anybody
confused?
opposed?
Everybody confused?
Yeah, including me.
I would suggest to anybody that's interested in getting into this business, or ones who are in business, to get with the building department or the planning department and look this over and see what the regulations are. It's tells you where you can set up and when you can set up and when you can't, so
How long?
bone up on it so you know what you're doing.
Yeah, and just to be clear, these two ordinances, the first one added mobile food vendors to the zoning ordinance. I'm sorry, added mobile food vehicles to the zoning ordinance. The second one added mobile food vendors to the ordinance. So that's the distinction between the two. One adds vehicles, the other adds vendors.
And that,
One just adds it to, the second one adds it to the chart of permitted uses. To see which zone they can go in.
Yeah.
okay. We passing both.
I think we did.
Well, we had it. We got to vote
We
on
might in a moment.
it. Yeah, we got to vote on this last one.
Are we ready for the
Take the
vote?
vote.
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
You got anything? we're to the,
We're still awaiting, so,
why don't we go ahead then?
We've got a couple more
A couple more
resolutions.
to do them. Okay, we're going to skip number 13 and go to 14, resolution authorizing memorandum of understanding between the Gadsden Job Corps Center and the Gadsden Police Department and the Etowah County Sheriff's Office. This continues the cooperative agreement affirming the joint commitment to maintain law and order on the Gadsden Job Corps Center property. The Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
15 is a resolution authorizing agreement with the Greater Gadsden Housing Authority. This continues the community policing program in the 7 public housing facilities for the next fiscal year. Under this agreement, the Housing Authority will reimburse the city for the hourly salary, excluding benefits of 5 officers. Chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
New business, is there any new business? I don't think so. No? Department reports, committees, boards, are there any? Citizens request, Louis Fuller, Theater of Gadsden. He wants to speak to us on the To Kill a Mockingbird production.
Good afternoon. Hello again. I like to express my congratulations to all of you who were successful in the election, and my condolences of those who weren't successful. I've been there and done that, so I can appreciate it. Okay. We have To Kill a Mockingbird, our current production of Theater of Gadsden, opens Friday night. It'll be the next 2 weekends at 7:30, Friday and Saturday nights, and at 2:30 matinee on Sunday. And we were able to cast it, and thank y'all for some of your help. It's going to be a good show. Also in rehearsal is Young Frankenstein the musical, and that should be a fun thing, and that's sponsored by the Gadsden Times and the Advanced Imaging. And Councilman Cannon, I'm not sure you're aware, but we're going to have zombies running through Alabama City in October. I'm not into the zombie or the vampire thing, but it should be a fun thing, and it will benefit the Theater of Gadsden. So that should be a fun thing.
I thought we already had them running through there, but go ahead.
All right. Thanks again for all the support that the mayor and the council has given the theater.
Louis, did you get a times on those?
I'm sorry?
Did you get a time on those performances? Friday?
7:30.
7:30 Friday?
7:30 Friday and Saturday, the next 2 weekends, and 2:30 matinee on
Sunday
on
afternoon? Okay.
When will the one in October be? What's the dates on it? Do you have it yet?
It'll be the 2 weekends in October prior to Halloween. We're tying it again with Halloween.
Okay.
I'll give that to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Louis.
There you are, Johnny.
Well,
I'm home yet.
Hanging by that tire.
Who really wrote it, Louis? Who really wrote it? Was it Capote or someone else? I'm teasing.
Won't get into that one.
Louis, I know you probably know your history, but the premiere of To Kill a Mockingbird was staged where?
Pittman Theater.
I know. A lot of people probably don't know that or don't realize that, but the original movie, To Kill a Mockingbird, was premiered. It was a huge event. It was premiered right here in Gadsden. I know Louis was there and Bob was there. I wasn't.
I was there. It was a 12 o'clock at night premiere.
Oh, it was?
It sure was.
Oh, okay.
Was that not right, Louis? It was at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we had the little boy from Piedmont that played in there, and the young lady from Birmingham that played Scout. was here, so quite an evening.
Yeah.
But there's some rumor about Truman Capote having some input into writing that, but, no.
Okay, due to the Labor Day holiday, Monday's garbage route will be collected today. And Tuesday's route will be collected Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday's route will not be changed. Now, Iva, where are we?
We're still waiting at this point.
What do you want to do?
I would suggest that maybe go ahead and complete your council remarks or any other things that you want to do within the order of business. And if we haven't received word that they're on their way, maybe entertain a recess to the council meeting and maybe take a small lunch break or something like that and reconvene at a particular time.
We're waiting on the Board of Registrars to certify the provisional votes is what we're doing. It's not going to change anything, I wouldn't think, but anyway, that's something we've got to do.
Can you tell us what state law says about the votes?
The provisional votes, state law specifies that the Board of Registrars will conduct whatever investigation is necessary and make a determination on which provisional votes should be counted. The state law also provides that the municipal governing body, in the case of a municipal election, actually tabulates those provisional votes. And so we're waiting on the certification from the board, and then whenever that is received, the council would have the opportunity to proceed with tabulating and certifying the election results from last Tuesday.
Wasn't there a timeline that we're supposed to do this today? Am I correct or wrong on that?
State law mentions that the council can begin their canvassing of the votes at 12 noon.
Okay.
Okay, Ben, you want to start?
I don't know where Johnny had got anything else.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Bob K. Moore is not here to get really excited about First Friday, so she asked me to talk to y'all about it. I believe it's going to be this Friday. Isn't that right, Billy?
First Friday.
This is what you call real excitement, man. This is uptown, okay. The theme of it's going to be buses, buggies, and Beetles. So to me, that means Volkswagens all the way. So they'll have buses with VWs and buggies and Beetles, I reckon. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I personally like the food and the shopping and the live music and the classic cars and also the VWs. So it should be a fun weekend, really. But she did want me to be sure and tell y'all that the entertainment at the Pitman Theater outside will be Sky Dogs. Don't ask me, Billy. At 5th and Broad is Foggy Hollow, because everybody knows about Foggy Hollow. BB&T, the Bank, McPherson Struts, 3rd and Broad, A.D. Howard, 2nd and Broad, Cheryl's School of Rock, and Back 40 Beer Company, David Karn. I think the only other request she had was, other than to come, have fun, bring your family, and enjoy yourselves. Don't bring a pet, and don't bring your skateboards, skates. Billy?
I'll have to leave them home.
That's right.
Who's performing at the, do we have a performance at the amphitheater?
Amphitheater, it's not on here, if the,
No,
just at the pit.
Concerts are over.
That's over.
Summer series is
Season's over.
That's over.
But y'all really, Kay Moore could come up here and have y'all leaving right now, going First Friday. All I did was just try to relay the message, so if I missed anything, I'm sorry. No problem.
Johnny?
Thank you, Mr. President. Lewis, you didn't mention about the facelift we're getting on Wall Street down there. Getting up a new sign back up there, a digital sign, everything know what's going on Wall Street in Alabama City. That'll be nice down there. It's about 90% complete. We're doing handicap ramps, and on the sidewalks down there, we can get people in and out in wheelchairs and stuff as handicapped. They can come to the plays. They can come and shop down there lots easier. We're doing a little work on the crosswalks down there. It's going to be really nice. Also in October, we'll be having the treats on Wall Street for the kids. Just make sure you come out for that. I don't know the date yet on that, but we'll get back with you on the day of that. Everything's looking good in Alabama City and Wall Street. Just want y'all to come out and shop and enjoy the theater. Louis, I appreciate everything y'all do down there for us. That's all I got.
How many provisional votes are there?
Councilman Stewart, there are approximately 60
That's
that were
60.
processed. And also let me add, there were a couple of delays in the board being able to make their decisions on some of these. And we also had a holiday yesterday, so that might account for some of the delay. And as well as there being a good number of provisional balloting. We had a few more involved with this election. There was a recent Supreme Court ruling that resulted in a Secretary of State rule. It's called fail-safe voting. And so that did increase the number of provisionals that were processed on Election Day, probably than what we had had in times past.
And probably changing these districts too probably create a problem.
We also, the city had a redistricting, and so those things, might have added to.
The reason I ask
Some
that
voter
is
confusion.
these provisional votes are not going to have an effect on any of the races. So I suggest we take a break for lunch and come back and I'm telling you this because it will not have an effect on any of the races.
That is true. When you look at the numbers that you already have from the Election Day totals versus the number of provisionals. In the mayor's race, that is not a large enough number. When you look at the ballot accounting certificate that was turned into my office, there were not enough provisional votes in any single district to affect the district race outcome as well.
So I didn't want y'all hanging around thinking this is going to have an effect on the outcome. It will not. All the races are settled.
Mr. President, why don't we just take a break until they get theirs done? Then we'll
Let's finish.
When we finish commenting, we will.
comment. That's my comment.
Mr. Avery, would you like to comment now?
Yeah, Ben, let me.
I'll let you.
Okay. Just a quick announcement. You talked about first Saturday. This be happening on Tuscaloosa Avenue this Saturday. So please, ma'am, and please, sir, come out. I think things kick off about 1 o'clock. They're going to have, I think, boxing exhibition and several other entertainments going to be going on first Saturday on Tuscaloosa Avenue. So please, ma'am, and please, sir, come.
You going to be in the ring?
No, I'm going to be in Indiana at my grandson's football game. Even though I've been accused of going out of town a lot, I will be out of town this weekend at his football game. And I don't apologize for that either.
Thank you, Mr. President. I do want to take the opportunity to thank those folks from North Gadsden that came out today and expressed their concerns about potential rezoning and commercial development in North Gadsden. I can tell you that if I lived in that area and this type of discussion was underway, I'd have the exact same concerns as you do. One of the unique dynamics, and I've, there is some discussion statewide about how to manage this dynamic, but it's very difficult to preserve and protect the residential element while at the same time managing a commercial growth or commercial development that may be happening right on the butt of it. We deal with this pretty much throughout the city. We've got our main thoroughfare that runs right down the middle of the city, and on either side you've got residential districts, and those folks aren't always happy when there's a new Walmart or a new commercial operation that pops up, because it creates new traffic, new lighting concerns, noise pollution. It creates a lot of things that those folks weren't accustomed to before they came in. So again, I definitely, Ms. Davis and Ms. Frederick, your concerns are very, very well understood, and we appreciate you presenting them. The unfortunate part about that is that the resolutions are not easy. They're not, because you have to balance two competing interests. You really do. I'm like you. After 9 o'clock, there's nowhere for me to get milk in North Gadsden. I live on the very last street in the city limits. So much like you, when 9 o'clock hits, if I haven't gotten it by then, I've got to drive to Walmart and get it. And so there has been a cry from many residents for us to drive some level of commercial development in that area. Well, again, you know, that brings us back to what we're talking about today. When you start talking about that commercial growth and that commercial development, then it definitely conflicts with the preservation of that quiet and peaceful residential environment. So there's some middle ground. We've just got to work to get there. I can tell you that for the first 2 years of my last term, or this term, I pretty much had a deathlock on some housing developers who I wanted to develop some interest in the Oakley Estates area in particular. Because right now all we're doing is tearing houses down in Oakley Estates. That's just the honest truth about what's happening in terms of residential development. There are a number of nuisance lots there. That area is about 65% rental property. First time in its history that it's been that flip-flopped. So it creates, and you hear the mayor grunt down there because it creates a very difficult situation in terms of managing the residential element, because you've got a lot of property owners who live outside of the city who really don't care, and they're not taking care. So we're cutting grass constantly in Oakley Estates. We're constantly tearing down houses. It's a very difficult situation, and I'm very aware of what's going on up there, very much aware. And of course, when we talked about this we actually had the building department to come out and do a presentation with a map where we talked about what our options were in the Oakley Estates area. You know, we're limited until we can get that area to the point that someone's willing and has the ability to, some private investors willing to come in and do some level of residential development. There are not very many options. And that's unfortunate because there are some very good people and some good property owners up there. And two of them are sitting in the back. Two of them presented today. And so, again, I share your concerns. So we've had our public hearing today. You've followed the process. I always want to encourage you. I'm very particular about when you reach out to me as your elected official, always contact the city clerk's office, because that puts me on record as owing you a phone call back. And I want to encourage that because again, if you don't do that, there's always that prospect that you're going to miss me at home or miss me trying to relay a message. Always contact the city clerk's office, and please be sure we discuss these issues almost religiously at our district meetings, whether it be in East Gadsden or at Thompson. We try to flip-flop the meetings to make sure we accommodate everybody's travel. We're one of those districts in District 2 where we cover both sides of the river, so we always try to make sure we flip-flop it to make sure we make it convenient for everybody. But again, we're not at all missing the very unique dynamic that exists in that community. And again, it's a dynamic that exists throughout the city, and I want to I want to let everybody know that I appreciate your involvement. I appreciate you stepping up and raising your concerns at both the zoning commission meeting and at this public hearing today, because that's how the process works. And we'll do our best to continue to take into account those concerns. That's all I have.
In my opinion, the North Gadsden district we need to do as much as we can to have development. We continue to lose people to the river and to small communities south of us. And to put a stop to that some way, we need to have an area, and that's the only one there is, in my opinion, to develop where people can build a house that they want to live in, and not, because we do have the river. They can get on the river up there as well as
that's right.
Down the other place. We need to really put an effort, Mayor, toward that particular area. A real effort. Spend some money up there and get some people going.
Yep.
Billy?
Thank you, Mr. President. The Litchfield Middle School saga continues. I will continue to encourage you to become involved and get involved in what's happening at Litchfield Middle School. It's our school, it's our community school, it's our city school. So regardless whether you have kids there or not, become involved, and let's continue to raise that school to the level that we expect it to be at. The Boys and Girls Club, I continue to ask you to support that organization in East Gadsden. They're doing good things, you know. We must also consider the fact that we had lost the Boys and Girls Club, but we resurrected it, and they are in good hands now, and I just need a community participation in making sure that this unit continues to survive in East Gadsden. We had Leroy this morning from the YMCA. Again, I'm going to encourage you to support the YMCA. That's an institution here in our city that's going to be here, and you know, the competition that he's getting with all the fitness organizations that are opening up in the city. I encourage you, regardless of what your status is or what your state of mind is about fitness, but the Young Men's Christian Association, YMCA, is a worthwhile organization that needs your support and membership. So again, I encourage you to continue to be members in the YMCA, and let us keep that organization viable, because you do know that one of the functions that the YMCA does is they manage the 6th Street pool, and they're doing a lot of things for our kids in the city that a lot of times is not publicized, and we don't know what they're doing, but I assure you that they are doing good things for our city, so support them, please. Thank you.
Mayor?
I'm going to piggyback a little bit on what Billy just said. The YMCA provided pool space and lifeguards for 145 City of Gadsden Special Olympic athletes 18 and older for the City of Gadsden therapeutic education. Provided swim lessons free for 100 children from government-assisted housing communities. Provided scholarships for over 250 families and adults. Also provided summer day camp scholarships for 45 children. That means they go free. Senior adult exercise classes in government-assisted communities served 295 people. Youth programs in city schools. Youth in Government taught 85 students the importance of civic involvement in 2014. In addition to that, the YMCA partners with the City of Gadsden to offer management to the 6th Street pool. In 2014, we served 1,654 children from area camps and 677 residents at the pool. The YMCA also trains all lifeguards for the pool from January to May each year at the Walnut Street location. We built they have outreach programs too. We built a big pavilion. It's a big word like mayonnaise. I couldn't get that one out. Anyway, and they had all kind of arts and crafts and many things. And the guys from over, I think, I forget their name, Robert, that furnished them lunch. Who was that every day?
That's Pete Huntley.
Pete Huntley. George Huntley.
Yeah.
And
Carver class of 64, I believe.
I believe that's right, Carver. They brought lunch every day. So there's a lot more things to it than just going and getting physically fit. Which all these other places, they're good places, but you know, you can't compete with that when it comes to the outreach and what they do for all the kids and the whole community. So if you're interested in helping them some way, they'd appreciate it.
I think it's class of 65. I don't want to get mad at me.
Robert said class of 65. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, now then, where are we, Ivan?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
No.
Recess.
Recess?
Yeah.
I would suggest recess.
We gotta do this.
Yeah, we got to do it today.
And if you want to name a time,
Well,
to
if you
come
adjourn, that you got to start a new meeting. This way, we just continue this meeting.
Exactly.
And that's what we're supposed to do.
That clock says it's 1 o'clock, so we're already behind. We're supposed to do it at 12.
Why don't we recess until they call us and we come back at our convenience?
I don't know, we have to have a
yeah,
time
we
frame.
need to.
Well, our convenience is when they call us.
No, I think for the public,
Give us
we have to set a
time to get
time.
But we'll let everybody know it's late.
It shouldn't take everybody over an hour to eat, so 2 o'clock or 2:30?
About 2:30.
2:30, hour and a half.
Give them plenty of time.
Okay. So your motion bill is to recess to 2:30?
That's correct.
I second.
And like I said, don't sit around and wait and think it's going to change the election. It's not going to have any effect on anybody's election.
You take the vote.
Okay. Those in favor to recess the council meeting until 2:30 PM, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, motion carries to recess.
I call this meeting back to order. Turn the meeting over to City Clerk Martha Elrod. That's Junior.
Martha Elrod Jr., okay. Mr. President, we do have I have the ballots in my hand that were removed from the ballot boxes. The report from the Board of Registrars, they made a decision on the provisional ballot forms, and so I brought the ones down that are to be counted. So I will proceed to open the envelopes. And I'm going to first remove the envelopes that were the outside envelope, not the envelope that contains the ballots. The first ones that I'm opening happen to be the absentees, so there is another envelope to open.
The absentees were not, did you have any provisions in the absentees?
Yes, we did.
Oh, wow.
The state law requires for an application and a ballot to be provisional if the address was different on the absentee application when we received it, if it was different than what we had on the voters list.
Okay.
Get all these absentees opened first.
Are you still doing absentee?
Yes, I am. We had a few provisional absentees.
I see.
I'm taking a little bit longer to make sure that the ID is present for those. Okay. Yeah, I think I slipped that one, I got excited and slipped that open first.
Somebody fix his tie underneath his collar.
There you
On the back.
You know you're on TV getting ready. We still on television. Okay. He is bad. Seriously, he is. I mean, he's bad. Especially the councilman. Word.
I'm gonna miss you. You going a little bit away.
Just a little bit.
Hurry up,
Are those, I guess they are.
Believe it or not, I
It
am
was 60
hurrying.
of them, right?
There were about 60 that were reported to us on the provisional,
Yeah.
on the ballot rosters that were turned in to my office. The Board of Registrars gave a report that, I believe, 38 were to be counted, but I think there was one mistake on that. I think our final total was supposed to be 37 to be counted, and 10 that were rejected. 11 rejections.
Okay. That ain't adding up.
There was one precinct that the PB3 forms could not be retrieved. They could not be located in any of the boxes. And
What are you saying?
there were several provisional ballots that could not be verified because of that.
Which one was that? Which precinct? Not that it's gonna make a difference, I don't think.
The precinct was 4A. In 4B, there were 3 that were sealed inside of the secrecy envelope that I could not open. And they were not, we couldn't verify those. Or the Board of Registrars could not verify those.
Okay.
So there were 3 there. I believe 4 was the number. There were either 3 or 4 at the other precinct.
Yeah.
I don't get my weekly report in on time. I'm gonna blame the governor for reporting.
I ain't gonna touch that.
Huh?
I am hurrying.
I'm not gonna touch that one. No, he wasn't talking about you.
Okay.
Hey, you got another 2 hours. We're gonna do it. I think.
I got about 5 or 6 things I need to do today, and here I sit.
She's gonna get you out in 2 minutes.
My secretary downtown don't work but a half a day tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
And then she don't work again until the next week, so I'd be under,
You gonna be out.
I'd be using bad shape.
Okay. I will proceed to open the secrecy envelopes.
So you think you're ready?
I think we're ready to start counting momentarily.
Okay.
Are you going, are they in a order districts or just at random?
The absentees would not be in order by district. The others started out being that way. I'm not making any promises. By the time I open the envelopes.
You come down to them.
They did to that one, but that one was really sealed. Somehow it seems like more than 37.
Where are you, Billy?
All right. And if somebody doesn't mind making a tally as we go of how much. This is District 7. Mitchell James, 1 vote. Gary Ashley, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. Did they give you enough time to get organized there?
When you say referendum, there's just one vote for the referendum? Or?
Referendum was yes.
Oh, that's the one, okay. That's the first one.
All right, this is also District 7. Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Ben Reed, 1 vote. No on referendum. This is also a District 7 ballot. Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Ben Reed, 1 vote. Referendum, no.
Yeah. I'm glad you didn't have a whole lot more people.
This is a District 1. Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Billy J. Harris, 1 vote. Referendum, no.
Aha.
District 3 ballot. Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Thomas Earl Worthy, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. This is a District 2 ballot. Mitchell James, 1 vote. Warren Alexander Dates, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. This is a District 7. Jay Holland, 1 vote. Gary Ashley, 1 vote. Referendum, no. This is a District 7. Mitchell James, 1 vote. Gary Ashley, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. This is a District 6. Mitchell James, 1 vote. Johnny Cannon, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. This is a District 4, District 6 ballot. District 6. Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Johnny Cannon, 1 vote. Referendum, no. This is a District 6. Jay Holland, 1 vote. Johnny Cannon, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 1 ballot, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Billy J. Harris, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 1, Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Cynthia Tolles, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 1, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Cynthia Tolles, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 2, Jay Holland, 1 vote. Warren Alexander Dates, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 2, Mitchell James, 1 vote. There is no vote in the district race. Referendum, yes. District 2, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Warren Alexander Dates, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 2, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Deverick Williams, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 2, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Deverick Williams, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 2, Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Warren Alexander Dates, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 2, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Warren Alexander Dates, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 3, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Robert Avery, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 3, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Thomas Earl Worthy, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. This is District 3, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Thomas Earl Worthy, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 3, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Robert Avery, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 3, Mitchell James, 1 vote. There is no vote in the district race. Referendum, yes. District 4, Jay Holland, 1 vote. Luther D. Abel, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. This is District 5. Mitchell James, 1 vote. Bill C. Stewart, 1 vote. Referendum, no. District 5, Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Billy F. Billingsley Sr., 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 5, 1 vote for Sherman Guyton. Billy F. Billingsley Sr., 1 vote. And referendum, yes. District 5, Sherman Guyton, 1 vote. Bill C. Stewart, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 6, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Johnny Cannon, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 6, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Alfred Al Euler, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 6, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Alfred Al Euler, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 6, Mitchell James, 1 vote. There is no vote in the council race. Referendum, yes. District 6, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Alfred Al Euler, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. District 6, Mitchell James, 1 vote. Alfred Al Euler, 1 vote. Referendum, yes. And we will have these numbers added to the resolution that you have before you officially.
That's it.
And that's that.
Okay, Chief. Go. Time to go.
So you have the resolution for your consideration that certifies or declares the municipal election results. All of the numbers that were retrieved from the tapes that were presented on election night have already been added into the resolution. The regular absentee votes were already added. The provisional will be a separate number in each one of the races, and that will be added, and a final copy of this will be tallied by the legal department once we get the numbers to them.
So we just pass it,
What do we
what
do?
we've got here.
Okay, right.
We'll
If
make
you
a-
want to give us some time to write in the numbers and let you see everything before you vote, we can do that.
No,
No, okay.
I make a
Didn't
motion
change
to
anything.
ratify the election return.
I do too.
Second.
All right, we have a
Okay,
motion and
51,
second.
So we tied
Who moved?
Call for the question.
He moved and he seconded.
Stewart moved. And Harris seconded. Okay.
Ready to
it.
go.
Any discussion? Okay, take,
Those in favor to adopt the resolution declaring municipal election results, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, resolution stands adopted.
I'll entertain a motion with adjourn.
So,
Second.
second.